Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning back in to DerekBaranProductions for another video. What can I say? It's here. It has finally come, guys. 5 days out from leaving to Florida to get our VMP Gen 3R installed on my 2013 Mustang GT. And yes, it's here. It has come full force because it does every single time. We have a lot of news to go over today, and we have a lot of bad news, and it's all bad news actually. Before we actually go and discuss this bad news, guys, I am going to try and lighten the mood a little bit by getting paid. Today's video is going to be sponsored by Ridge Wallets. Ridge Wallet is a wallet manufacturer, and I have been using them for some time now, and as you guys can see here, I am rocking their green, olive green at that, little Ridge Wallet here. And when it comes to carrying a wallet on a day-to-day basis, guys, this wallet has honestly changed my life in that aspect. I used to carry around a big old bulky leather wallet, always held in my rear pocket, and every time I would sit in a car such as this, it was quite uncomfortable, and I ended up taking it out at a lot of different places, whether it's going out to eat, sitting in car, when I used to go to school, all sorts of places, which resulted in me losing my wallet quite frequently. So that's exactly why I switched to Ridge Wallet, guys. As you can see here, it's very compact and built for minimalists such as myself. So if you guys are interested in checking out Ridge Wallet, guys, head to the link in the description and make sure you use promo code DBP Squad for 10% off your entire order, and you are more than welcome to use that promo code as many times as you'd like. I want to thank you so much, Ridge, for lightening my mood and sponsoring this video. So now that we got that out of the way, guys, where do you want to start? We have two pieces of news here, one bad and the other bad. So we could either start with the bad or the bad. You pick. The bad news? Okay, yeah, here we go. So as I just mentioned in the beginning of this video, guys, the inevitable has happened, and yeah, the car is kind of messing up. Before I actually go any farther, I want to say that the car is messing up, but I personally haven't felt a difference in the car. I haven't seen any performance difference or anything such as that nature, you know, like a misfire or it bogging out. When it comes to the mechanical side of the car, it sounds perfectly fine. It feels perfectly fine. But what I will say is within the past month or so, I have received 2 check engine lights. Now, a little history on my car, guys. I am running a SVE off-road X-pipe, which is gonna eliminate the catalytic converters. Therefore, it does get a little funky when it comes to the O2 sensors and having proper readings. And yes, the car is tuned for the off-road X-pipe, and everything in that aspect is perfectly fine. Now, what I am going to go ahead and fill you in on, guys, is the first code that popped up, we'll say a month ago, was a code that could potentially be revolving around the gas cap in these cars. Now, if you own one of these cars, you know there's no gas cap. It's kind of just like a blocked, locked filler neck type thing. I don't know exactly what to call it, but when you take your gas handle, stick it in, it opens it, and you just close the door, and that's it. So the reason why I know this is because the Mirandas, and Pam specifically, had this problem that her little fuel door didn't fully close all the way, and it's going to throw code because it's an emissions type deal. So I did exactly what Joel told me to do. I went to the gas station, I filled the car up, I, fed the filler neck in and out of the little locking mechanism, as I mentioned, just to make sure there was like no gunk buildup or anything like that that was causing it to stay open and throwing the check engine light. So I went ahead, grabbed the scanner, cleared the code, went and filled it up. Code's been off for a while. As of yesterday, guys, the car threw another engine code, and I read it, and it is this code. So the code I ended up picking up on the reader yesterday is a P219A code, and it states, it means that the powertrain control module, also known as the PCM, has detected an air-to-fuel ratio imbalance for the bank of the engine, which contains number 1 cylinder. So there's a couple of ways / theories I look at this code, and I am by no means a tuner and Mustang expert. I was reading this on some Mustang forums, and it seems like a lot of people who run an off-road X-pipe run into this problem. With reading that, it kind of put me at ease because a lot of people are calling it a dummy code, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried because we are literally going to Florida to push nearly 700 horsepower out of this car, and I don't know about you, but I'm very finicky and super OCD about having engine lights pop up, even if they're not that big of a deal, and all sorts of stuff. Yes, at the end of the day, you can call me very paranoid. You guys know, you've seen the history with the Blue 2 valve. That car has put me through so much stress, from the first 2-valve motor completely blowing, putting the new one in after 9 months of waiting, getting the car supercharged, running into all these problems. It was just a mess, guys, and it has definitely created some sort of PTSD when it comes to cars. I do know when you come into modifying cars and taking things off, putting things on, things like these are gonna happen. So I'm not that freaked out about it. I did clear the code and I haven't driven the car since I cleared it just because. So I actually called my tuner Kevin over at Flim-Flam Speed here in Richmond, Virginia. He's the one that tuned the car on the dyno, got this thing fully buttoned up for the off-road X-Pipe. We are gonna be going to visit him today because he wants to data log the vehicle just to be sure we have nothing to worry about, because he also said that this could be just a dummy code. I don't want to go into this having a mess if it's going to cause a bigger mess later on. So since we are going to my tuner today to get a proper data log, that definitely relieves some pressure off my chest. But here's the other problem I'm having, and again, some more bad news. I am running an SCT X4 as my tuner, my handheld. I know it says Bama. It's not Bama tuned. I would never do that. So I bought this brand new. This thing is married to my vehicle, and here's the problem I'm having, because I originally wanted to use this to check the O2 sensors to make sure that the O2 sensors are picking up readings and everything like that, and use it to clear the engine code. But here's the problem I'm having, and we're gonna go ahead and plug up the SCT, grab my keys, and we're gonna turn this into the accessory mode position, the on position, which should then trigger the tuner. But give it a second and all the goodies pop up, and any minute now we should get the beautiful screen of device communication error. Unable to establish communication and make sure device is operating with the proper firmware. Well, that's just wonderful, because as this sits right now, it is absolutely worthless. So there's that. I cannot use my handheld right now, and you're probably saying, well, update it as it's saying with the proper firmware. Well, here we go. I went inside because I'm pretty sure those are wireless, like Wi-Fi connectable. I went inside to hook it up to a computer, and instead of plugging it up with the OBD plug up right here, there is actually like a little Android USB. I don't know exactly the proper terms for it, but you plug it up to a power source. Ultimately, it's supposed to power it up and give you the main menu mode to where you can go and update the device, but I get the same exact error code, which makes no sense because the thing's brand new and I've used it once. So if anybody watching this video right now has ever had this problem, please, please, please let me know. So when it comes to the car, guys, that's the problem we're currently having and hoping to have resolved today, and looking to get that green light to be like, yeah, here you go, drive it 14 hours, put 700 horsepower into it and drive it back 14 hours, which totally safe. Keeping my fingers crossed, that's exactly the news we're gonna get, and it's nothing stupid or, you know, car threatening, I guess I can say. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go ahead, start the car, head to the Mirandas. We're gonna try to get the tuner updated. He has all the software. We're gonna see if it's an error on my end, or we're gonna see if the tuner is just jacked, have to call SCT, blah, 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 which I'm hoping I don't have to do. All right, started right up. Engine light is currently not on. Let's see if this thing stays off, and let's see if everything's gonna be a-okay. Oh, Lucifer, the things you're already putting me through. Hello, Electra. Bet you're not throwing any check engine lights, right? So unfortunately, SCT is currently not answering. I've tried 2 different helplines. Both of them have been like rejected. So we have everything hooked up. SCT is plugged in. We have the device opened up in here, and it's currently gathering device. What's that say? Oh boy, that's just beautiful. We weren't able to get the device fixed or anything like that. I found no leads on it whatsoever. We're gonna see what Kevin says, and we're gonna head to Flim-Flam right now.
I'm fan.
Have you ever sat in this car before?
Yes. I drove your car.
Passenger seat though?
No.
See, he was about to jump the gun on that one. All right, guys, so we're pulling into Flim-Flam right now. Got some toys in here. And it's usually more packed than this. This thing's sick, man. I would love to own one of these, just like a little project car. A little Terminator Cobra right there.
What's going on with yours? I can't get it to unlock either, so you're gonna have to probably end up sending it back to.
Oh, really?
But I can still check it with mine.
Okay.
Do you have the cable that goes into the OBD too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's that. More than likely, I'm just gonna have to send this back off to SCT, or we'll go ahead and visit them since we'll be in Florida anyway, but it seems like this thing's all locked up. Probably the step we're gonna have to take with it, or if I just buy another one, but it is what it is, I guess, at this point.
I'm even just trying to read the data straight off of the car, and it's like it's not communicating to the ECU. I mean, it completely freezes mine up, so something ain't right.
Well, guys, we got back from Flim-Flam and didn't get the news that we wanted. First off, I do want to say thank you so much, Kevin, over at Flim-Flam Speed. If you guys are interested in getting any tunes done, any, you know, work done at all to your car, definitely hit him up. So here's where we're running into, guys. The good news is the car is as strong as it ever was. There's no hiccups with the car. There's no bogging, no sputtering, nothing in that sort of nature that really scares me. So the reason for going to Kevin today is because he's obviously a tuner, and, you know, he data logs and all this stuff, and, you know, I don't have my tuner working, I should say. I have it, but it's pretty much took a shit on me, so SCT, you know. So I took it to him to get it data logged, and his tuner, his handheld tuner got power, but it's not allowing him to connect or read the PCM. It's not making that connection, which is kind of worrying me. Now, I'm gonna make this as short as possible. When I had the Airlift performance bags, Airlift gives you a little fuse tap, fuse that powers on and off. So with this mechanism, you have to take out a fuse from underneath the hood, put it through this little fuse holder, and then push it back in so it's like a connection to the fuse and a connection and to the wiring in the back. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and flip these fuses out, put these new ones in, and see what happens. So Joel's actually grabbing his tuner right now. We're gonna try to plug it into mine. Come on, please work. It worked? No shit. And I just got a message from Kevin, actually. I sent him the bank readings, and he says, good to go, son. Flog that shit all the way to Florida, so. All right, new one's in, and I think we're just gonna let it roll, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin said the car was fine. So as far as that code, it's kind of debunked because the banks are reading perfect. And as I mentioned, that code we got did read that the banks weren't running good. But Lucifer, stop being a prick, say bye, and yeah, guys, we will catch you in the next one. But until next time, see you later.